when you push the heat too far while cooking. I know we all do that. Our food, when we're cooking, we're not just making it delicious, we are creating something else. Something invisible, but very real. Toasted bread, fried plantain, the barley, the burnt rice that we all call party rice. What is this chemical that we should be careful about? It is called acrylamide. And how does it form? How it forms will surprise you. I am Dr. Okunola and welcome to the Food Pond, where we explore the fascinating science behind the food that we love. If you are new here, I beg, hit that subscribe button because we're about to embark on a journey that will change how you think about your kitchen. Acrylamide is a chemical that is formed in our food. It's an uninvited guest. It shows up when you least expect it. And once it is there, it is hard. You cannot get rid of it. The issue of acrylamide came into being in just year 2002. That was in Sweden when a particular scientist discovered that acrylamide is found in heat processed food. I wouldn't want to go to the history of that. And the groundbreaking about that was that the story revealed that the level could be up to 1,000 times higher than what's considered safe, even in drinking water. But here's what is really fascinating. This discovery means that when we fry plantain till it is almost black, or we roast our barley until it is perfectly charred, we are unknowingly creating this particular chemical. This food that we have mentioned, they are, look at it to be starchy foods. So they contain high level of, that starch that we broke it down into simple sugars. And at the same time, they contain a bit of amino acid. In our past episodes, we talked about amino acid, being molecules that form protein. So when this particular amino acid now is called asparagine, when they are heated, when you are cooking now above 120 degrees Celsius, that is above the temperature of boiling water, this particular reaction will now take place. And guess what? When they combine like that, above that particular temperature, they are going to form what we call acrylamide. When you boil and you steam, acrylamide cannot be formed. The formation of acrylamide is found mainly in food made from plants. I mentioned earlier your potatoes. You will find it in coffee. Coffee is the greatest culprit. In grain products. You don't find it in dairy, in meat, and fish products. Let's talk about the health reality of acrylamide in our food. There's no fear-mongering, just science. In 1994, the International Agency for Research on Cancer confirmed acrylamide to be a group 2A carcinogen. The meaning is that probable carcinogenic to humans. In other words, there is the probability of it causing cancer in human. Acrylamide could cause neurological damage at high level. causing numbness. Imagine you not being able to feel your hand properly. As much as we may say that not much negative effect of acrylamide in human, the byproduct of acrylamide, which is glycidamide, is the main concern. It is more harmful and has been reported that could damage the DNA, thereby being, what we can call a precursor to development of cancer over a very long time of exposure to acrylamide or consumption of acrylamide in our food. However, let's look at it from the point of being neutral or being balanced. Before we start panicking or swearing off all our favorite foods, let's put it this perspective. A study that was conducted in Europe suggested that avoiding acrylamide could prevent about 1,000 cancer cases annually in Europe. That could be significant, but relatively small compared to overall cancer burden. In other words, what they're saying is not consuming acrylamide could prevent cancer. At the same time, can you see the balanced perspective? In other words, it could still cause cancer. But if you could avoid that, there is a probability of reduction in cancer. Baby food contains acrylamide level. Those infant biscuits, those rusks, all those snacks, children's snacks, could contain as high as 400, which could be problematic to those babies because of their body weight that is small. And take into consideration that their system is developing. Let's give ourselves this particular quiz. Which cooking method would you think would produce more acrylamide in potatoes, boiling or steaming, or your deep frying? I want you to drop your answer in the comment section. So let's continue on the good news on how to prevent this. Number one is your temperature control. You need to be able to control your temperature. We always say something, high temperature, short time. And there's one rule that we must follow, which is called the golden rule. Whatever you are frying, aim that it should just be golden yellow. Avoid frying overripe plantains, because overripe plantains, the sugar is already exposed, so the formation of the acrylamide will be very fast. For restaurant or eateries, there is an enzyme that is being used, which is the asparaginase enzyme, that can reduce even acrylamide. Then there are others like the rosemary extract. In conclusion, we want to say acrylamide is really a concern, but it's not a reason to panic or abandon. It's not a reason to abandon the food that we like if we can take all the precautions that have been mentioned. Like I said, go for gold, not bond. Cook smart and not scared. Small changes can make the difference.